Are you a mom that is struggling with the relationship with your adult child and you're wondering if you're the next in line to be estranged? Stay tuned for this video today because we're going to go through some early red flags of estrangement and hopefully take some proactive steps along the way to avoid it. With that being said, obviously I want you to know that you cannot control another person. So you can't control any decision that your child is going to make in regards to this part of your story. So I want you to know that, but let's dive in. Number one, I want you to think about this red flag that might be happening in your family. Changes in communication patterns. What does that look like? So when you are dealing with your adult child, depending on their age, especially as they're maturing, some of them are going to have changes in communication. That's just normal. I don't want you to panic. Okay? We are going to have some changes in those patterns. But if they just completely stop sharing things with you, and these are some of the examples of what I've seen and what I experienced myself. So for example, let's say they used to call you regularly. Maybe it was daily, maybe it was weekly, whatever that cadence typically was if they're not living in your home. And they would share updates about life. But now maybe it's changed and maybe they're only responding to your messages with, short replies, or maybe they're ignoring them altogether, whether that be a text or whatnot. So that could be a red flag. Now remember, this is over a period of time. That change in communication could be a subtle indicator of a strained relationship on their end. Maybe they're withdrawing for whatever reason, emotionally. Maybe they're distancing themselves for some other reason. Again, these are just signs, okay? Number two, increased conflict or tension. Now this one example could be, let's say your son or daughter, every time you try to discuss a certain topic with them, maybe just in passing, maybe you're talking about their relationships or maybe their career choices, and that always leads to a heated argument or sometimes even worse, a prolonged silent treatment. If that's the case, I can promise you that they're probably not sure of what they want to do in their own life, or maybe who they're with, or maybe they're feeling judged or controlled by you. So I want you to consider that, because over time, that conflict or tension and all those interactions can signify to you that it could be an underlying issue that needs to be addressed. And this is a big one for moms. We don't see it until it's out of vision. And then we look back and think, wow, I shouldn't maybe have pressed them so much. Maybe, it's a big one. We all have done it. We're not perfect. We've all done it. But I want you to consider that maybe that's what's happening. So, if you're wondering about all of this, and if you ever ask yourself, how am I handling all of this whole estrangement situation, this rocky relationship, I have a new survey, and it's a free survey. I'll put the link below, and I want you to answer the questions honestly. And then you're going to receive a recommendation email from me based upon your answers, on how I believe I could best support you, or just in general recommendations for you moving forward. So go ahead and click that survey, and I would love to hear about that for you. It's a free survey. Number three is emotional distance. So let's say, for example, you notice maybe they've become increasingly distant as a family. So as you're together as a family, or maybe they're just referring, they'd rather spend time alone, or they're just not engaging with other family members as well. So when they start emotionally distancing themselves, you know something's up, right? Doesn't mean it's something up with you. It means there's something up with them. So it doesn't also mean that it's something dramatic. So it doesn't mean they're necessarily going to walk away from you, but it's a sign that there's something wrong. Again, these are just signs. So just observe the detachment that's happening. If you have the opportunity, you could suggest, maybe suggesting something, maybe they're suggesting something to you in the behavior, but also maybe it's a time for you to be able to take a step back and go and just observe. Because I know we want to fix it. We want to fix everything for them because we love them, but that's not our job. These are adult children, adult sons and daughters. Number 4 is lack of mutual support. So if you had a relationship with your son or daughter and where you were able to share, different concerns or or whatnot, and maybe they start dismissing you or changing the subject. Maybe they're showing very little empathy and they're not willing to support you at all in something that maybe you need. That can also indicate a red flag in the sense of they're pulling away, but the question is why? It could mean there's a breakdown in the emotional connection between the two of you. However, you have to remember that when our kids pull away, it's not always because of us. It's usually because of something they have going on in here. I see it time and time again, and I personally live that as well. So I want you to remember that, and we're going to go through some more of these in the next video. So God bless you, and I'll see you soon.